Hey, how's it going guys? Trexus here, and today we are here to talk about my 3 new features I want to see in Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon that have not been released yet. Now I have 3 things I want to talk about there are other things I want in the game, so I'm not going to talk about them today. I just have 3 main things I really want to see in the new games that can make it as good as it looks already with everything that's been announced with the Ultra Wormholes. The Rainbow Rocket storyline's amazing. All the old legendaries coming in the game. The games already look amazing, don't get me wrong. But there are 3 things I think can make the games just over the top and rival start and move them into the conversation with Heart Gold, Soul Silver, Black 2, White 2, Platinum. I think these games have the potential to reach that level, to the S tier of Pokemon main series games. Now let's just hop into the first topic, and that topic is the Pokathlon. Now if you guys may be younger, have never played Heart Gold Soul Silver, Pokathlon is like the Olympics for Pokemon. Basically, you would enter your Pokemon and it would just be like competition. Like there was a dash, there was a soccer game, there's a beach ball hunt. It was just a really interesting and unique feature to Heart Gold Soul Silver. Now with that being said, that might be why hasn't been in other games. They want to make that unique to Heart Gold and Soul Silver. But I think there's potential here. If they brought it back with the graphics that have been in Sun and Moon, they could take that feature and just completely turn it around and make it one of the best features, one of the best side games or side features or side things to do ever in a game. And I think the potential for that is just through the roof with all the characters that are introduced in Sun and Moon and the graphic capabilities as well. And another thing that could be thrown into this topic is the Battle Frontier, or the Battle Zone as it was in Platinum. In contests, I know contests were just in Alpha Sapphire and Omega Ruby, so that's more far-fetched to me. But I feel that bringing in the Battle Frontier or the Pokathlon are 2 things that could definitely happen. In Battle Frontier, to me, probably seems a little bit more likely, especially since we thought we were going to get DLC for it in Alpha Sapphire and Omega Ruby, which did not actually happen. Unfortunately, I was kind of disappointed about that, but it's okay. You know, it's fine. We're not worried about it. We're continuing. We're thriving. But I think adding the Battle Frontier will make the replayability of this game and make its life last just that much longer. It introduces new player to competitive, and it gives old players that nostalgia of Pokemon Emerald and Pokemon Platinum that was not in Omega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire, or Sun and Moon, which I would really love to see a return. As well as it wasn't in Black and White too. So it's been 3 generations that we've had a Battle Frontier. So I would definitely think that's a possibility in these new games. And next up, we have move tutors. Now, move tutors I think are pretty self-explanatory. For competitive, you know, how many times do you want to have Crunch or Mecha Gyarados and you can't get it? I think that might not be a good example. I think that was 6th gen. But who remembers in 6th gen when you got your Mega Gyarados, you're all hyped about it. It's gonna be such a good mono. You couldn't get Crunch on it because it didn't have the move tutor for it. And it's like, okay, well, what the heck? What do I do now? And then it just completely, like, not having the proper moves just completely ruins the Pokemon's liability in competitive play. Now, something that Nexus brought, I was watching his video, and he brought something pretty interesting. What if you made it so that you could just have, like, all the move tutor moves from all the games in the past available in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, since it is the final game on the 3DS. Now, that being said, you could have so many options for your Pokemon. It would just make it a whole lot more fun, a whole lot more immersive and different each time you go into a battle with someone else. And I think the potential for the battles would make great content. It would not just for content creators, but for just like fans of the game, for VGC, for the video game championships. You're gonna have a lot more diverse teams with diverse movesets than you did in Sun and Moon, because in Sun and Moon VGC was kind of stally. It was not that fun. People were getting tired of all the stall, and that's how people were winning championships through stall teams. So hopefully that'll change in the Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon meta, and I think the way they can do that is through introducing more move tutors. Next up, we have FFAs. Now, not like next up in my list for move tutor viability, because FFAs are extremely fun. It's probably the most fun thing we've thought of as a community to introduce into the games. And I think having all those wacky moves on top of even more wacky moves you can add to your mons will just make them so much more fun, so much more interesting, and even more interesting and funny than they already are. Now, I don't have much more to say on FFAs, it's just that. So let's talk about something that could be pretty interesting, I think, to the games. Is the return of Pokemon gyms. Now, I know everyone's saying that, oh, they're tired of gyms, you know, it's cool that someone was mixing up, but then no one liked the tryouts. No one liked the tryouts. They like, can we go back to gyms, even though they were just complaining about having too many gyms? But I think a way Game Freak could do this, they could maybe integrate it into the post game, like through the Rainbow Rocket, if like each leader had his own gym, maybe, or they're just like gyms you could find that are optional post game, or maybe they could do like a combination of both gyms and trials, which I think would be probably the best option. So maybe you would have one trial and one gym per island in the Kahuna at the end of the island, or maybe 2 gyms, 2 trials in the Kahuna. I don't know, but I think Game Freak could probably think of a way to do it so it worked and it flowed well throughout the game. And maybe if not gyms, you would reduce the amount of trials you had to go through. So maybe you could do like 2 trials per island, but also pick up a few of the Z crystals through storyline purposes, or got them when you were a champion, or got them to the battle tree or battle frontier maybe, or Pokeathon to introduce those features as well. But I think, or maybe even through the Pokédex completion to promote the Pokédex, you could do like similar to Fire Red Leaf Green, where you to complete a Pokédex to get like key items in the game that help you make the game easier for yourself. I think they could do that with gyms or with the Z crystals, or not just like shoving 17 or like I think it's like 15 trials down your throat, which is actually ridiculous. But that's all I have for today. Let me know what you guys thought about these 3 ideas I had for Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. If you agree, if you disagree, and also let me know what your 3 features you want to see introduced to the games. I do have new information coming out rather soon, I do believe. So we'll see what happens. But anyways, with all that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and go out of here. If you enjoyed today's video, be sure to drop a like down below because it is greatly appreciated. With all that being said, I'm out of here though.